Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Chapter 26. The King of Goblins, Frightened. Walking in the aisle, the disgusting stench hits the face. Lin Moyu couldn't help covering his nose. In the long, kilometer passage, all the iron gates have been opened, and the inside is empty. All the ferocious wolves have been wiped out, clean. At the end of the passage, a huge mine pit appeared. The diameter of the mine pit is more than a kilometer, and it is completely dark and invisible. There is a passage spiraling down, and there are many goblin monsters on the passage. They wear armor and hold large knives in their hands. In groups of 2, Luck patrols back and forth in the passage. Elite Goblin Warrior, Enhanced Elite Monster. Open Black Lens Bracket Level. 15 Close Black Lens Bracket. Open Black Lens Bracket Power. 900 Close Black Lens Bracket. Agility. 800. Spirit. 400. Physique. 900. The attribute is much worse than that of the boss, and none of them breaks 1,000. Lin Moyu didn't take it seriously at all. With a wave of Lin Moyu's hand, the skeleton army has rushed into the mine. Facing the tide of skeleton warriors, these enhanced elite monsters are powerless to resist. One after another was killed. Kill level 15 Goblin Elite Fighters, experience plus 4,500. Open Black Lens Bracket. Obtain Animal Bones 6 Close Black Lens Bracket. A series of prompts kept popping up. Lin Moyu gave the order to fight freely and quickly cleaned up the monsters in the mine. Although the enhanced elite monsters are very strong, they have rich experience and enough materials. It's strangely high quality. Compared with ordinary monsters in the outside world, the cost performance is much higher. In the future, if you go to the Hell level dungeon to brush alone, you should have more experience. If anyone knew that Lin Moyu had this idea, they would probably want to spit on him. The Hell level dungeon is a single brush, and throughout the history of the human race, no one has done it. In history, there are some great people who have single-handedly used nightmare level dungeons, and they have already been recorded in the annals of history. It's just a joke to brush the Hell level dungeon alone. People did try, and those people died and never came back. Lin Moyu walked all the way down the passage, and the monsters along the way have been cleaned up. When he reached the bottom of the mine pit, the experience had reached 99%. It's just one step away from upgrading. At this time, only the last boss remains in the entire dungeon. As long as you kill it, you should be able to level 12. It took just over an hour to enter the dungeon, and it was upgraded by more than one level. Efficiency far exceeded expectations. In this way, it only takes a few rounds of nightmare difficulty, not to mention level 16, even level 18, level 19 is not difficult. As long as there is a level, entering Shajing Academy is a certainty. Sister, we will meet soon. Thinking of Lin Mohan, Lin Moyu rarely smiled. The big boss of the mine dungeon sits in the middle of the mine, with a big mouth constantly swallowing air. The sound of breathing was like thunder, oscillating back and forth in the empty mine. Every breath can whip up a hurricane. Lin Moyu was almost blown off his feet. This big boss has no knowledge of what is happening outside. That state is similar to that of the underworld. But it's just asleep. The detection technique blows past like a breeze. Open Black Lens Bracket. King of Goblins Leader Level Monster. Close Black Lens Bracket. Open Black Lens Bracket Level. 16 Close Black Lens Bracket. Open Black Lens Bracket Power. 3000 Close Black Lens Bracket. Agility. 1500. Spirit. 1500. Physique. 3000. Skills. Flame Jet. Sweep. Knockback. Close Black Lens Bracket. Compared with the Mine Wolf King, its attributes are not much higher, and its strength and physique are slightly stronger. Lin Moyu even thought that his skeleton warrior could fight it one-on-one. The detection technique awakened it, and slowly opened its eyes to look at Lin Moyu. Then with a roar, it jumped up. Wielding a giant sword in his hand, he slashed towards Lin Heiyu's head. The big knife fell on the head with a terrifying wind pressure. Lin Moyu did not dodge or dodge. His eyes were extremely calm, even with a hint of sarcasm. The seemingly terrifying knife stopped suddenly when it was 10 centimeters away from Lin Moyu. It was as if there was an invisible force that made it difficult for the big knife to move forward. Damage transfer. All attacks that Lin Moyu receives will be borne by the summoned creature. Lin Moyu suddenly frowned, because he felt that the skeleton warriors were all injured. The soul fires of all the skeleton warriors jumped violently, and the light on their bodies dimmed by 3 points. At the same time, fine cracks appeared on the bones. How so? Lin Moyu was taken aback, a little puzzled. He was seldom surprised. Even when the big knife was coming towards him just now, he was extremely calm, and he didn't even blink his eyes. It was his first time to kill 3 people in a row last night, and he was equally calm. In his eyes, there is no difference between killing and killing monsters. It's not that he's cold-blooded. It was her sister Lin Mohan who once told her to keep calm no matter what happened. In times of danger, only calmness can survive. He retreated quickly, and the skeleton warrior rushed to the Goblin King and protected him at the same time. Furious blow. The skeleton warriors used their skills one after another, and powerful attacks fell on the Goblin King, causing huge damage. For a moment, the Goblin King was torn apart. The Goblin King naturally shifted his target after being attacked, and began to attack the skeleton warrior. Lin Moyu stepped back and thought about what happened just now. The effect of damage transfer is to transfer the damage he receives to his own summons. All summons take damage equally. He suddenly understood the reason why the skeleton warrior was injured at the same time in the blow just now, and the damage was not small. Mainly because his own attributes are too weak. Only 120 points of constitution, weak defense. Facing the Goblin King with 3,000 strength, how much damage should he suffer? The transferred damage is based on himself, ignoring the skeleton warrior's defense. These injuries were all transferred to the skeleton warriors, so the skeleton warriors were injured one after another. If that knife fell on the skeleton warrior, it is estimated that the skeleton warrior's injury would be much, much lighter. It turned out that I was the only weakness. It seems that I will build up my physique in the future. The stronger my defense, the stronger my summoned army. Chapter 27. Lin Moyu completely understood. The biggest weakness of the skeleton army with him at its core is itself. If there is a powerful enemy, give up entanglement with the skeleton warrior, and instead keep attacking yourself. That would also be dangerous. Damage transfer is not a panacea either. Now that he knows his weaknesses, Lin Moyu will naturally find ways to make up for them. The Goblin King's body was ripped apart, and blood was pouring down like raindrops. It is 6 or 7 meters tall, and now there are skeleton warriors on its shoulders, back, chest, and even its head. A radiant light erupted from the Goblin King's body. He jumped up violently, and then fell heavily on the ground. With the roar, all the skeleton warriors on his body were blown away. Even the skeleton warriors on the ground were shaken back. Skill. Shock back. Then the Goblin King's eyes also glowed, and he opened his mouth wide, spraying out flames. The flames burned the skeleton warrior. Lin Moyu felt that the vitality of the 4 skeleton warriors was rapidly disappearing, and they were on the verge of death. With a heartbeat, the 4 skeleton warriors were immediately taken back to the summoning space. The flames of the Goblin King were still spraying out, preventing the skeleton warriors from approaching. His skills must be interrupted. A flame also appeared on Lin Moyu's palm. Soul Flame. The flames fell silently onto the Goblin King's head. The Goblin King suddenly let out a terrifying scream, and the flame spray was interrupted immediately. The Soul Flame ignores defense and directly causes spiritual damage. Attack power is determined by skill level and mental strength. Although Lin Moyu's spiritual power is only 400 points, and the skill level is only level 11, but after the 20-fold increase, the attack power of the Soul Flame cannot be underestimated. The skeleton warriors quickly surrounded them and continued to attack desperately. Lin Moyu continued to use the Soul Flame to attack the Goblin King, preventing him from using his skills normally. A minute later, the Goblin King fell to the ground unwillingly. Kill the King of Goblins, experience plus 40,000. Obtain a bronze level weapon, the Dagger of the Goblin King. Close black lens bracket. Obtain bronze level armor and robe of knowledge. Close black lens bracket. Obtain the crystal nucleus of the Goblin King. Close black lens bracket. At the same time as the prompt appeared, Lin Moyu's body also emitted an upgrade light. Finally reached level 12. It only took a little more than an hour to brush the nightmare level dungeon alone, which allowed him to upgrade by more than 1 level. Very efficient. Lin Moyu checked his harvest. Goblin King's Dagger. Bronze level, strength plus 10, dexterity plus 10, assassin skills increase by 3%, available after level 12. Close black lens bracket. Knowledge robe. Bronze level armor, spirit plus 10, constitution plus 10, shortens the cooldown time of mage skills by 5%, available after level 12. Close black lens bracket. The dagger is useless to Lin Moyu, so he just put it away and can sell it for money after returning. My profession is a necromancer, so it should also belong to the mage profession. However, my skills are different from other mage skills. There is no cooldown time, so it seems useless. Add 10 points to the spirit and physical fitness, which is not bad. After all, it is only level 12 equipment, so the requirements cannot be too high. Lin Moyu immediately put on the robe of knowledge, increasing his spirit and physique by 10 points each. In addition to the equipment, there is also the crystal nucleus of the Goblin King. The Goblin King's crystal nucleus is larger than that of low-level monsters, and it is also more beautiful. It's as red as a ruby, and you can feel the warmth coming from it when you hold it in your hand. Obviously, this crystal nucleus is very unusual. The crystal core can be exchanged for 100,000 gold coins when it is taken back to the exchange. Lin Moyu had a little surprise in his heart. The crystal nucleus is more valuable than the 2 pieces of equipment. Mental power is fully restored after upgrading. Lin Moyu immediately summoned 4 skeleton warriors. The skill of summoning skeleton warriors has been upgraded to level 12, and the summoning requirement has also reached 110 points of spiritual power. Although he now has 510 points of spiritual power, he can still only summon 4 of them. The bronze skeleton warriors who have reached level 12 have all 4-dimensional attributes as high as 3,800 points, and the number has reached 60. In this dungeon, you can come and go freely. With a good mood, Lin Moyu walked into the instance exit. Lin Moyu suddenly appeared at the entrance of the instance. His appearance immediately attracted everyone's attention. The key to attracting attention is the skeleton warrior he carries. Skeleton warriors are so special. With a cold and evil look, and a terrifying appearance, the timid people will not consciously turn their heads and dare not look at it. He's out. I didn't expect him to come out alive. Could it be that he really just brushed the dungeon? There are only a handful of dungeons who can make a single dungeon. I think this kid is a sucker. No, look at the clothes he is wearing. Does it look like a robe of knowledge? Really, it's really a robe of knowledge. It's unbelievable that the big guy who can do a copy alone is right in front of my eyes. Lin Moyu didn't care what other people said. The dungeon has entered a cooldown period, and it takes 12 hours to enter again. There was a trip to the dungeon, and he was no longer interested in farming wild monsters. That experience is too little. Killing more than 10 is not as good as killing 1 in the dungeon. It's too troublesome to find monsters everywhere. The 12-hour cooling time is just right for meditation to restore mental strength, and you can also summarize the gains from this dungeon trip. Lin Moyu walked aside silently, found a place where no one was around and sat down. A skeleton warrior stood faithfully beside him, guarding him. This dungeon trip has an unusual meaning for him. The most important thing is to let him understand where his weaknesses lie. Also understand the use of skills. If the corpse burst is used well, it is an unparalleled attacking skill. The soul flame can interrupt the enemy's skills, and the spiritual attack that ignores the defense is very powerful. Even the nightmare boss can hardly bear it. Lin Moyu summed up the experience and sorted out the gains and losses. Chapter 28. Lin Moyu sat and meditated, with skeleton warriors standing by his side. There were more than 100 people at the gate of the dungeon, and no one dared to approach Lin Moyu. The main reason is that Lin Moyu's skeleton warrior is too scary. It's frightening to look at. That's fine, no one bothers you. Lin Moyu just waited for the cooling time to pass, and could enter the instance again after 12 hours. Mental strength is gradually restored during meditation. When you enter the instance next time, you can summon 4 skeleton warriors again. As night fell, Lin Moyu finished his meditation, and his mental strength had almost recovered. Pile after pile of bonfires were born at the entrance of the copy, and many people gathered around the bonfire and roasted meat. The aroma of the meat is pervasive, and the aroma is more intense after sprinkling with seasonings. These people often hang out in the field, all of them are very experienced and well prepared. Unlike Lin Moyu, he only brought some sweet potatoes when he went out. Stomach protested. Lin Moyu wanted to take out sweet potatoes to eat. Noticing that the sweet potatoes were gone, he realized that all the sweet potatoes were given to Ning Yi. Thinking of Ning Yi's naughty and cute appearance, Lin Moyu couldn't help showing a little smile. Instead, he took out the steamed stuffed bun and ate it bite by bite. Brother, do you want to come over and have some food? Someone waved to Lin Moyu. They were roasting unknown meat. The meat was very fragrant. Is a young man in his 20s. Judging by his attire, he should be an assistant. Lin Moyu shook his head slightly, declining his kindness. He didn't insist either, and ate the barbecue by himself. I said Wang Yi, why did you call him? That's right, this is a weirdo. He hasn't spoken since he got here. And the undead summoner beside him is a bit scary. A young man named Wang Yi has a different opinion. I think he is normal, but he doesn't like to talk. And look at him, although he didn't speak, he never provoked others. I don't think he's as difficult to get along with as you think. Wang Yikyut also put a large piece of barbecued meat on a plate, and walked up to Lin Moyu. Brother, let's eat a piece of meat, how about just eating buns? Lin Moyu looked at him and didn't speak. Wang Yi smiled kindly, put the plate in front of Lin Moyu, and left. Under the detection technique, there is no problem with grilling meat. Lin Moyu slowly picked up the barbecue and took a bite. The barbecue tastes good and is very fragrant. Not far away, Wang Yi also held a piece of meat to Lin Moyu, with a sunny smile on his face. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt that his smile was somewhat similar to that of Gao Yang. After filling his stomach, Lin Moyu entered the state of meditation again. With the skeleton warrior by his side, he doesn't have to worry about safety. The 12-hour dungeon cooldown finally passed, and Lin Moyu's mental power was fully restored. This time, it should be able to rise to level 13. He got up and saw that the door of the copy was full of people. Two gangs appeared to be facing off. A group of people stood at the entrance of the dungeon, completely blocking the entire entrance of the dungeon, preventing anyone from approaching. Wearing uniforms and holding sophisticated weapons, they looked like an army. Those who confronted them were people who were originally outside the copy. Although there were a lot of people, they looked scattered, and they couldn't compare to the other party in terms of momentum. Your dynasty guild is too domineering. Why don't you let us enter the copy? That's right. Why? The copy is not yours. It won't affect you if we enter the copy. Many people protested. A mage with a staff came out of the dynasty guild. Our young president is completing the task in the dungeon, and you are not allowed to enter the dungeon until his task is completed. Why? Your dynasty guild is too domineering. Professionals protested one after another, but no one dared to do it. The main reason is that the dynasty guild is too strong and they dare not mess with it. Wang Yi was also among the protesting crowd. His sunny smile disappeared and was replaced by anger. Lin Moyu walked over and came to Wang Yi's side. What's wrong? When Wang Yi saw Lin Moyu, he didn't expect Lin Moyu to speak. Surprised, Wang Yi whispered, the young leader of the dynasty guild wants to do tasks in the dungeon, so we won't be allowed in. Lin Moyu had doubts in his eyes. Is there any task that needs to block the copy? Wang Yi also saw Lin Moyu's doubts. It's like this, they need the Goblin King's crystal core. The drop rate of this crystal core is not high, only in nightmare level dungeons, and it will drop after 100 days fall once. You should have seen this mission in the exchange, right? This mission was actually issued by the Dynasty Guild. But no one has ever completed this task. It's ridiculous to say that the crystal core of the Goblin King is not comparable to ordinary crystal cores. It is worth at least 300,000 gold coins. They can buy it if they want 100,000. Who will sell it to them? It's been exactly 100 days since the last drop today, and this time the Dynasty Guild will do it by itself. What a coincidence. The Goblin King's crystal nucleus in his storage space is as dazzling as a ruby. This time the Dynasty Guild will inevitably return without success. Originally, Lin Moyu thought about selling the Goblin King's crystal nucleus for 100,000 gold coins when he went back 2 days later. Listening to Wang Yi now, it is obvious that the Goblin King's crystal nucleus is not simple. What's the use? Lin Moyu asked in a low voice. The crystal nucleus of the Goblin King can be processed by an alchemist into a Goblin King ring. The Goblin King's ring increases all attributes by 10, and all skills are upgraded by 1 level. It can be used at level 15. It is known as the strongest jewelry below level 40. Such a strong attribute is indeed very powerful. Especially when all skills are upgraded by 1 level, for novice professionals, they are like gods. Wang Yi continued, it is said that the young president of the Dynasty Guild is going to be admitted to Sha Jing Academy, so he is determined to get this piece of equipment. There is no shortage of alchemists in the Dynasty Guild, and other materials have also been prepared. What is missing now is the crystal nucleus of the Goblin King. Knowing the cause and effect, Lin Moyu smiled and walked towards the entrance of the instance. He doesn't care about any dynasty guilds, anyway, it's not good to hinder him from leveling. Chapter 29. Hey, what are you doing? Come back quickly, the dynasty guild can't afford it. Come back quickly, you will die. Wang Yi was very nervous and wanted to pull Lin Moyu back. Lin Moyu turned a deaf ear to it and walked over obstinately. The people who were still protesting suddenly stopped, and they all looked at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu walked towards the copy with a skeleton, and the skeleton made a clicking sound as it walked. What are you up to? The mage headed by the Dynasty Guild stared at Lin Moyu with cold eyes. Behind him, a dozen people from the Dynasty Guild looked at Lin Moyu at the same time. These people are all above level 20, and each of them has extraordinary momentum. There are knights, warriors, mages, archers, and assistants. Formed a complete combat team. And they are well equipped, from weapons to armor to jewelry, all bronze level equipment. It is precisely because of this that although there are many protesters, no one dares to actually do it. The level is not as good as people, the team is not as good as people, the equipment is not as good as people, and the skills are not as good as people. His fists are not as good as human beings, so he can only protest with his mouth. Lin Moyu stopped in front of the mage, and said lightly, get out of the way. The mage of the Dynasty Guild seemed to have heard the funniest joke. Young man, are you drunk? Go home quickly. Lin Moyu continued, don't stop me from entering the copy, or I'll kill you. Lin Moyu spoke seriously. He really wasn't joking. Now he wants to enter the dungeon to practice leveling. This is related to his entry into Shajing Academy. If anyone dares to stop him, he will really kill people. The mage popped a detection spell and landed on Lin Moyu. Then he sneered, Lin Moyu, you are just a 12th level kid who dares to talk nonsense here, didn't your adults teach you to speak well? Necromancer, I haven't seen this class before, is it a new class? The undead summons are quite interesting. For the sake of you and I being both mages, please forgive me this time and get lost. The opponent's level exceeded Lin Moyu's level by 10, and the shield badge did not work. As soon as his words came out, everyone present knew Lin Moyu's level. It's only level 12. At level 12, you can simply brush a copy. Wrong. He probably didn't even have level 12 before. One realizes that Lin Moyu's career could be very powerful. Lin Moyu also used a detection technique. Reciprocity. The mage didn't wear a shield badge, and Lin Moyu also saw the other party's profession. Zhao Ji, level 25, mage. Close black lens bracket. Unlike elemental mages like Xia Shui, they are just the most common mages, mid-level professionals. Although the level reached level 25, Lin Moyu didn't take it seriously. Zhao Ji sneered, and everyone in the Dynasty Guild behind him also showed sarcasm. Little guy at level 12, his hair hasn't even grown yet, so go home and drink milk. This is not the place for you to come, be careful to lose your life. It's enough to fight wild monsters, and the dungeon is not for you for the time being. Behind Lin Moyu, those who were still protesting before said to Lin Moyu, young man, come back quickly, the Dynasty Guild is unreasonable, they will really kill people. Wang Yi shouted, brother, come back, we will enter the copy after they leave. Lin Moyu didn't pay attention to the voices from all parties, his voice gradually became colder, one last time, get out of the way, or die. Zhao Ji felt a chill from Lin Moyu's words, and even shivered unconsciously. Lin Moyu's eyes made him feel cold. What kind of eyes are these? It seems that in Lin Moyu's eyes, he is not a human being, but a monster. But in the next second he reacted, stinky boy, you are looking for death, if you dare to take one step forward, I will kill you. Lin Moyu looked at Zhao Ji, the corners of his mouth moved slightly. Kill. Say a word lightly. The skeleton warrior rushed out like lightning, and appeared in front of the mage in the blink of an eye, raising his hand with a knife. Zhao Ji was joking, and at the same time a light blue energy shield appeared on his body. A little guy at level 12, even if I stand up and let you hit me, you still can't break my energy shield. The skeleton warrior landed on the energy shield with a knife, and the energy shield suddenly deformed violently, almost reaching the edge of shattering. At this moment, Zhao Ji's expression changed immediately. What kind of summon is this? The attack is so big. One's own energy shield can resist at least 5 attacks from fighters of the same level. But in front of the skeleton warrior, at most the second hit would break. Skill. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and a dazzling red light burst out from the skeleton warrior's knife. Furious blow. Zhao Ji was frightened out of his wits. Who would have thought that this summoned creature could use skills? He felt the threat of death. With this skill, not only the energy shield would be broken, but he would also die. Resist the ring of fire. Zhao Ji's instant skill, the fire ring erupted, and instantly pushed the skeleton warrior several meters away. The skills of the skeleton warrior were also interrupted. Look at what to do, do it. Zhao Ji felt that he had walked through the gate of hell, his face turned pale, and he yelled sharply. A knight came out in response and launched a charging skill, held up his shield, and rushed out more than 10 meters in an instant, and hit the skeleton warrior heavily. Boom. Amidst the screams, the knight was sent flying. The skeleton warrior remained motionless. In terms of strength, the skeleton warrior wins. Unless it has a force flying skill like resisting the ring of fire, it depends on who is stronger. The skeleton warrior rushed up again, and he faithfully carried out Lin Moyu's order to kill Zhao Ji. Zhao Ji stepped back quickly, and while strengthening the protective shield for himself, he shouted, "Kill the summoner." The best way to deal with a summoner is not to kill the summoner, but to kill the summoner himself. As long as the summoner dies, the summoned objects will naturally disappear. Boom. 2 archers shoot their arrows at the same time. The sharp arrow turned into 3 in the air, turned into a streamer and shot down Lin Moyu. Be careful. Get out of the way. Someone shouted from behind. Lin Moyu didn't dodge or evade, and even his expression didn't change. Chapter 30. A black vortex appeared in front of him, and 2 skeleton warriors appeared at the same time, one on the left and one on the right, just blocking the incoming sharp arrows. The sharp arrow landed on the skeleton warrior, making a metal hitting sound, but did not cause any damage. Then the 2 skeleton warriors rushed straight towards the 2 archers. There is more than one summoned object. Zhao Ji's complexion changed again and became extremely ugly. He didn't expect Lin Moyu to have more than one summoned object. However, it is normal for some summoners to have multiple summons. There is a summoner in their guild who has 4 summoned objects. Block it for me. Zhao Ji yelled loudly, and immediately a night warrior came over to block him, blocking the skeleton warrior for him. With no life in danger, Zhao Ji raised his staff high and pointed at Lin Moyu, chanting a spell quickly in his mouth. Killing a summoner is not as good as killing a summoner. Dancing fire snake. 2 seconds later, a fire snake flew out of his staff and charged towards Lin Moyu. Too bad. This is a skill that can only be learned by a level 20 mage, and it's a very rare skill. It is known as the strongest attack skill before the second turn of the mage. This time brother Lin Moyu will be in trouble. It is said that less than 1/3 of mages can master this skill. Some people behind him are worried about Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu still didn't move, and a vortex appeared in front of him again. This time, a total of 20 skeleton warriors came out at the same time. 20 soul fires dance in the dark night. The fiery snake danced wildly on them, and exploded with a bang, emitting brilliant flames. In the flames, 20 skeleton warriors rushed out together, and rushed towards the members of the Dynasty Guild. Zhao Ji's face became extremely ugly. Why are there so many? The appearance of 3 skeleton warriors just now was enough to surprise him, but he did not expect that 20 appeared at once this time. This number has exceeded their number. Form a team, line up, and fight. Zhao Ji is very experienced and did not panic because of this. The Dynasty Guild is indeed a guild that has been fighting for a long time and has rich experience. The professionals inside have all gone through a lot of battles and have excellent cooperation. They assembled quickly. Knights are at the front, warriors, archers, and mages are output in the center, and support is at the end. In Zhao Ji's eyes, although these summons are strong, his own team is more complete. Killing the skeleton warriors just takes some time. A team of more than a dozen people huddled together. The assistant quickly adds status to everyone. Strength enhancement, agility enhancement, spirit enhancement, speed stimulation, energy shield, soul of berserker. As long as there is a state that can be added, none of them are missed. In just 30 seconds before and after, all states were blessed. It also shows their excellent cooperation. Confidence appeared on Zhao Ji's face again. Although they are now surrounded by skeleton warriors, it is not uncommon for them to encounter such a situation. He firmly believes that he must have the last laugh. At this moment Lin Moyu raised his hand, lowered his head and said to Wang Yi and the others behind him, "You guys, back off." Until now, no one dared not listen to his words. Who would have thought that he could fight against more than a dozen dynasty guilds by himself? Everyone retreated immediately, and the distance was tens of meters in a blink of an eye. Seeing this situation, Zhao Ji was puzzled, but he didn't think much about it. At this moment, he suddenly saw flames flashing in front of him, followed by a scream from an archer. The archer's vitality dropped sharply, and he was on the verge of death in an instant. Immediately afterwards, a healing technique landed on Archer, quickly pulling him back from the death line. Lin Moyu used the soul flame and failed to kill the archer in seconds. The other party's nanny responded quickly and treated Archer directly. Zhao Ji broke out in a cold sweat, thinking of Lin Moyu's profession. Lin Moyu is not just a summoner, but a necromancer. In addition to being a summoner, he is also a mage. Nurse attention, the treatment must be fast, the opponent has the ability to attack magic. Zhao Ji commanded loudly, making everyone in the team more nervous. Who would have thought that a dozen of them would be besieged and killed by one person? Concentrate on one person. Lin Moyu looked at the outermost knight with the skeleton warrior on his head. This knight is also suffering unspeakably at this time. He has to bear the attack of more than 10 skeleton warriors at the same time. The pressure it bears is greater than that of the anti-nightmare dungeon boss. Although there were constant healing spells falling on him, he still felt extremely painful and felt that he would die at any time. Following Lin Moyu's order, more knives fell on him. Then a flame appeared overhead. Out of the instinct of life, the knight started the ultimate defense immediately. There was a shimmer of light on his body, and the pressure suddenly decreased a lot. However, the soul flame ignored his defense and directly attacked the soul. Even with the ultimate defense, he still screamed. Fortunately, the nurse reacted quickly, throwing healing spells on him. Under the continuous attack of the skeleton warriors, the radiance of the ultimate defense is rapidly fading. The ultimate defense, which could last at least 40 seconds, only lasted 20 seconds. At the moment when the ultimate defense disappeared, Lin Moyu issued a new order. Use skills. At the same time he used the soul flame again. The soul flame took effect, causing the knight to scream. More than a dozen violent blows landed on the knight at the same time. Even the nanny didn't have time to heal, and the knight was instantly killed. The gap in the team was opened, and Zhao Ji's face changed drastically. Run. Lin Moyu shook his head. It was too late. A skeleton warrior threw the knight's body into the air. The corpse exploded. There was a loud bang. The knight's body was detonated. Detonated in the air, the most powerful. With the knight as the center, within a range of 20 meters, deal damage equal to 200% of the knight's HP to all enemies. Among all professions, the vitality of knights is one of the best. How powerful would it be if the damage based on his life was doubled? Zhao Ji only heard a bang, and nothing more. Kill them all. The corpse exploded like a thunderbolt, destroying everything. Only a dozen bombed-out corpses remained on the ground. None of the Dynasty Guild members survived. Large pieces of objects were scattered on the ground. Lin Moyu didn't even look at it, and took them all away. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.